Welcome back, one and all, to another episode of Small British Steps. You find us in the administration building because I'm just having a look at let's bring it up, our suborbital research contract. You can see we've got the one thing to finish before we can actually finish the whole thing, get it done. And you can see that, yeah, we've still got like 3 years of funding there. So I'm sort of like torn to finish it early. However, the next one we have to do is this one. And if I just put it on like I was going to say normal speed, but fast speed, it costs 150. I could put it on breakneck. I don't see the reason for that, actually. It's basically, I like the 6 years, if I'm honest, because we still have this X-Planes one, and you can see we're still coming up in the point where we're not even at the peak of the X-Planes yet. We don't want to complete X-Planes before this point here. We're going to let the funding run. So that's definitely one that's going to run until completion. We might finish it sort of here-ish. But what we are looking at is this one and going, yeah, I think we'll want to finish it early. So we're going to get that done. Think about maybe when we want to finish it. Maybe finish at the start of if we can finish it this year, that'll be possibly a bonus. We are in October, finishing it like the final weeks of the year. Maybe if it counts years or days or something, I don't know. Be useful to have it done. Anyway, we've actually got being built the craft for that, have we? Or have we finished it? Oh no, we've got it. We've got it built. The Atlatl 3 Advanced Bio Return is built, actually. We've also got a dart. If we have a look in here, we can see that actually this is ready to go. So I think we're going to just go straight for it. Let's just do it. We are building some stuff. I went forward a little bit in time, actually, to get to the point where these are ready. You can see we've got the Crummock there's got 200, is it 200 days on it? How has that got 200 days on it? Oh, because we just got it on, right? So the Crummock is building. It's literally done no time at all. So the Crummock is building. We've got these ready to go. And I think we've got like 5,000 funds waiting around. Yeah, let's actually just... Oh, I know what it is. Let me show you. The Crummock is building, however... Yeah, I left one in there because the hangar's full. So it's working at full pace. It can't go much faster. What I need to do is actually line up the next contract, which will happen when we do the mature supersonic flight, which we may actually move up thinking about it, because we're not in a hurry to get the orbital rocketry stuff yet. I don't think. What's the timing on that? It's at 1 times. Is it going to get bad if I move it higher? If we put it up there, yeah, it's fine. The main reason I'm saying that is because these two actually get a negative from this. If you remember, we've got the person that helps us there. Is it McDonnell Douglas thing, which helps this but hinders rocket development. So we want to get those two out of the way. Then we'll get rid of McDonnell Douglas. We're at 250 on there. We get to decent funding. We've got funds going up. Our funds are going up and up and up. So that's not a big problem. We could hire a few more researchers. Is a potential. In fact, I am tempted to. What's our total thing coming out at the moment? We're gaining that. I'd like to keep it at 100 actually a day. Would be nice for the while. So I'm not going to choose the researchers at the moment. We can see a clear pathway to where we're going, so that's not a killer. We've got 3.9 science left, which we'll be looking at. Let's have a look. That's 12. That would be nice, because that would actually give us sort of suborbital flight, and I would like that actually. So that would be nice to have. I think I do want this, because that will give us my other or on-orbit engines that we're going to play around with a little bit. And then some of the satellite tech maybe for moonshots is a possibility. I don't know. I don't know, if I'm entirely honest. We could go for the entry, descent, and landing stuff, which is probably be useful for when we get crew rating and things like that. So there's a lot of options, but I think... What's this do? This is, there's the Avon next level up actually, but there, I think I want that. I think we should be all right getting to the Mach 2 with the engine here. It's more a case of can we get higher with the cockpit, and that would be hopefully a direct swap out for our current cockpit. It's about the same mass if I remember rightly, so that would be a positive for us. We should be okay with it. So there's that and that. So we're looking at 22 units of science would be good, and we should start getting some of those when we start doing crewed flights as well. So that's something to remember. Anyway, enough of the talking. It's been like 4 minutes of talking. Let's get the craft going. Let's launch. Let's choose a contract and let's go for it. The intermediate one is on 85 days. I'm going to leave it a couple more days to do. So we'll do this one, which is the capstone contract. So I believe this finishes it. I don't know if it finishes automatically. If it does, this gets scrapped and we just go straight on to building something else. We do have the Dart bio thing that we're going to run a few of them off, and we can just get some bio samples from that. Right, let's just launch it. Here we are with our 2-stage Atlatl 3 yet again. And the aim of this one is to just get that minimum altitude of 1,440 kilometers, and we've got to get this surface speed over 2,000. So this surface here will actually change to orbital at some point, I think, and we just need to click it back down. Right, we're going to launch with Smart ASS actually, which is going to be fun because we'll have that funny wobble at the start. So let's get the engines going. No failures, off we go, and we do the wobble. Still don't understand why it does that, but we'll figure it out in the future. Alright, so we're going to head on up. And we want to go pretty flat, actually. The aim of this one is we want to get it... so again, we're going to repeat what we've done in the past, actually. We're going to try and just get it to a point where it is going to be just over the 150 kilometer mark. But we get all of that horizontal speed. And this one actually is important because... we have to get that down, that horizontal speed in. The surface horizontal speed is key to us. You can see we're at 250 already. Right, we're moving along quite nicely. I'm going to just pop this down. We want to get it down a bit lower. Let's have a look. What's our predicted app-lapses? I'm at 14, 15, 16. Okay, we're getting up there. 40 seconds or so on this stage. Obviously, we've got the fairing attached, so that's not a big problem at the moment. We're going to get rid of that at some point. Getting a little bit of aero effect. Now the interesting thing about this craft is we are still using the procedural wings early, so they're not supersonic engines, fins or anything, but we're high enough up that they're not overheating, they're not getting a heating problem. When they come back down, they overheat pretty quickly, but at this point, not a big issue. Surface, let's go to 45 now. There we go. That's nice, we like that. Now I'm hoping that we're going to be able to maintain this once we do decoupling of this engine. So start the engine up. We have an engine failure. Brilliant. Right. We'll just do that. We have a failure on this. Oh dear. Right. Absolutely brilliant. Well, let's just decouple things. Is this actually running? It only works in space, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Of course it does. Right. Do that. Arm the parachute, gives us a test run. Oh, look at that, it's just falling to bits. Right, we'll run this down. You'll notice it's pretty much the same sort of design, but fatter than the previous version, the previous craft we had. We'll build another of these. We're not in a hurry to do stuff, I suppose. We'll just have to try again. So that ignition of that final stage went boo-boos, shall we say. We actually got it, we haven't got it highlighted because, yeah, it was just a failed ignition. That's annoying. That is annoying, actually. So I will let this go down and we shall recover it and see if we get any science from it. Well, for all of our hard work, we've got 0.4 science to show for it, and we got a little bit, 737 funds. That's not bad, actually. We got a big chunk of that. I wonder whether, let's have a look. Yeah, the procedural tanks, because they cost more, because they're not tooled, we actually get more funds back, which sort of doesn't make sense. Surely they should be based on the, now I'm assuming it's because we don't have that. We should actually calculate the part value as if it had been tooled for the actual refunding of money. I don't know. That just seems a bit weird getting the full value back. I suppose we could reuse those tanks for our next one or something. I don't know. Anyway, we need to build another one. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go, where is my, there we are, Atlatl. That one there. And then I'm going to come to, this is going to slow down everything now though, because we've actually transferred staff around. So we're going to go operations. Yeah, you are going to need to be built. So then I have to go to staff and I have to go, okay, we're going to go to engineers. And one thing I did was move all of our engineers around. So I'm going to, is it that one? No. I need to go to the correct one, which is in the hangar. And then if I press that, it goes my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that. And then we come back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that. That's going to take still loads of time. Oh, God. Would it be quicker to just do that? We'll do the material science. Right, so let's actually have a look. Currently, build rate on that is 114. Knock 9 off, it's going to be about 105, something like that. So 105. Let's have a look. When that finishes, and it's done nothing. Do I have to go into here and choose something? Do I have to take the upgrade? Is that something I have to do? Does that help? Because that's supposed to improve engineering efficiency. Oh, but it will lower the minimum. Oh, of course it will. That's really useful for the plane, but not for much else. So now, let's have a look. Where's the maximum? Doesn't say. That's gone up to 65. That's because these are old pads. Ah, so only new ones get that sort of bonus. I see. Oh, see, that makes sense, actually. I like that. All right, I'm going to drop these down. Because, what's the build rate on those? Yeah, I don't need that much. And that gives us a total of how long to build that? 77 days. Wow, that has shortened that considerably. So while that's being built, you know what? That's going to be finished in 77 days. We're going to put another craft in. We're going to put another craft in, and we're going to build that as well, because I just feel like it. I think it's a good option. So let's put a better jet in, I think. So we're going to choose the Derwent J2. I believe this is okay. What have we got here? We have engines that are... Yeah, those there. Can we not purchase lack tech for mature? Oh, we can't have those ones. Oh, I thought we had that tech. Let's just check. Where's my mature supersonic flight? Oh, we don't have that. So we're going to have to build the lower version of it. Okay. So we'll build the first version. So let's bring up the first version, the Derwent J1. I believe this is acceptable. Is this acceptable? Engine is the base version. So this is going to basically chase we'll chase the speed of sound with this, and then we will swap out its engines and change it for something else. This should be upgraded. Let's have a look. Parts. Show upgrade. It's upgraded. Not that it should matter for this craft. It's a big expensive jet though, so we need to think about that. We're going to save it, and I'm going to say how long is it going to take on max. It's going to take 107 days. Wow, that's really has improved our build rate, hasn't it? Right, we'll do that then. There we go. Right, let's get back and launch that rocket finally. Before we launch the rocket, we're going to get some astronauts. Well, some pilot. I think we might. It's a bit of weak pickings, isn't it? You're all pretty mediocre. There doesn't seem to be many of you, in fact. I looked in here earlier and there was a beautiful pilot that was like high courage, low stupidity, and I really like the look of it. We'll take Claire Wood and we'll wait around and see if we get somebody else. You courage is high, stupidity is low, but you are a scientist and I actually want a pilot. Even though I don't think that really matters. You're going to retire in the 60s. Okay. So what we then need to do is actually put you on a training course. So training proficiency in the X1, please. We're going to say what's that going to take you. It's going to take 45 days to start that training. Going to cost me some money, which is annoying, but it still sits okay. That's fine. Right. Let's get to the daytime and then let's launch us this advanced bioreturn mission finally. Well, doesn't this all seem very familiar? Yeah, we are ready for another attempt on this. So engines to full. Let's have a go. We're aiming for that 140 and a lot of downrange speed. So start the engines. Off we go. Then we'll do that. Look, I didn't get a wobble this time because I waited until we were actually launching to press the execute button. Seems to not cause a problem then. All right, we're going to get this up nice, just like last time. It's going to be beautiful. We're not going to have an engine failure on the top stage. This time we're gonna really go for it. I believe in this launch. That's what I'm gonna say. I believe in this one. I think we've got this one right to do that. Put that on a minus. There we go. In fact, you know what? Put it on 2. Put it on -2. There we go. We're not aiming to go high. We're aiming to get fast. That's what we want. And fast means not having to counter gravity all the time, which means getting horizontal quickly. So that's what we're gonna do. We've got 50 seconds on this stage. We're gonna speed up a bit. We already had that first stage fail separation, so we're just going to assume this is going to be perfect all the way up to that point. I've not had any engine failures on the first stage for ages on this, so I'm bound to have one soon. It's going to throw the whole craft completely wonkers. So let's see. Yeah, we've had an engine. Yeah, we've lost. What did I say? We've had an engine loss. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Right, I think I'm ready. Let's get in close. We're ready. So we're going to start the engine nice and early. I'm going to start it now. And there we go. Right, we have engine light. The engine is lit. It was lit when we did a hot stage. It looks good. I like it. I'm happy with it. We're at 90, 100. So I'm going to go surface. I'm going to go take me to 25, 30. Take me to 30 to start with. Take me down to 30. Okay. Still got the fairing on. Doesn't matter on this because we don't get any science while we're not in space. So that's not a problem for us. I don't mind what altitude we get to actually, as long as we get that downrange speed. So we've got a long way to go. We've got about 2, potentially up to 3,000 meters per second we can get if we put every single job of this into surface velocity. This thing can come down a bit more. Let's put it down to, I don't know, 15. There we go. That might not be enough. That might be too much actually, but we'll see. We'll see. We're up at 130 kilometers. The thing is here, actually, you have to have this in orbit for a while to actually get some science out of it. So we're not going to get any science. Let's be entirely honest. We are not getting science out of this. This craft is not going to give us science. It's limited at best, shall we say. This craft is actually the advanced science thing is designed to basically go. The advanced biological science thing, I think, is designed to go into orbit and then come back out again. I think anything less than that, and you're wasting your time. Let's get rid of the fairings anyway. We're high enough up there, and you can see it, and you can see it's not doing anything. Yeah, it's not going to do anything until it is in the right wide height. Now we are actually going to hit about 3,000 if I'm not careful. Do I want to put a little bit of angle on this? Actually, I do. I want to just lift our nose up a bit and give us up there for a bit longer. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Do a bit of that. Do a bit of that. And then what we'll do is just before we'll decouple, we'll do this. So we're ready. Okay, this is going to be annoying. Okay, it's going to be really annoying for everybody. So we're going to do that, and then that's going to cut, and we're going to tumble, and then when I decouple that, the whole thing's going to be tumbling and separating, hopefully, from itself a little bit. There we go. Right, we're now running, and you can see it's at 23 hours. I mean, yes, you get 40 science. It's not biome specific, I don't think. No, it is not. But you've got to spend 24 hours in orbit. So we could keep flying these, but they'd be pretty pointless. We've completed the surface speed. We're actually, if I show you, with surface speed is well in excess of 700 meters per second in excess of what we need to do. So that's not a problem. We're going to come back through the atmosphere pretty quickly. We're not going to get much in the way of science. 0.1 science. Throw away science, literally, at the moment. We'll get more from our other biological samples, just launching them up, I think. But we've got to do this. Probably should arm the parachute. That's a good idea. And now it's just a case of re-entry. Now, I would imagine we're still going to come down over the desert. I'd assume, yeah, we are. Australia's a very big place, isn't it? I mean, it's going to take us an awful lot of effort to get not over Australia. So, yes. So we're going to rotate around. The non-heat shield is going to position itself nicely. We've got a lot of potential delta V to lose here. We're actually traveling almost 3,000 meters per second, which is pretty hot in stock. Yeah, that's going to pop if we're not careful. That bottom one, yeah, just, oof. That's the rocket exploding. So that bottom one, this is just normal tank. So it hasn't got the best fuel, the sort of heat absorption and not blowy uppiness. I think that's a technical term of anything. So yeah, that was tight actually. I do believe we would have still finished the mission because we got all of those things at the same time. But you do have to recover the sample, so maybe not. Maybe if that had blown up, we would have had a problem. So we were pretty much on the brink, I think. It would have been... Yeah, I wonder if it's designed to allow that. I wonder if it's designed to, like, if you're around just over 2,000 to 3,000 on re-entry in the right angle, you shouldn't overheat it. Because if it wasn't, you'd have to start researching, entry, descent, and landing tech, and that's actually takes you a lot further along the tech tree. I think it'd be a bit rude to have you do that. Right. Coming down all the way. Well, you've seen this. We'll let this land down, and then I shall recover it, and we can look at what we get. Well, we are back, and we can see we've got the The grand total of 0.1 science, we'll take that. We've got that up to still 4 on it. It's 4.4 science. We got 700 funds back. We knew that was going to happen. Let's get, yeah, we've got contract completed. So there we go, 26 on the old reputation scale. And then program complete. You've achieved the objective set forth in the suborbital research program, and it can now be completed in the administrative building. Wonderful. We'll get rid of those two. Now let's see, what does that do for us? So I can click on this, and what does this do? It says reward program, complete program reward. It doesn't actually tell you what the reward is. I see. Well, there's no point us holding, is there? You know what? Yeah, thank you. Oh, advanced, so this is an optional one. Ooh. So what does this require me to do? 200, yeah, we ain't doing that. 2,800, good question. I don't think we've got the craft to do it. It's a lot of reward though. Oh, that is tempting. I think we'll just take, we'll take this one, get it done, and we'll knock that one out, I think, and it's done. Right, here we are. This is potentially the last launch of the Dart 9, is it? Yeah, because I think we're going to lose this contract. I think this contract go bye-bye when we get on to the next program. I think finishing this program will get rid of the sort of altitude sounding rockets. I think we probably get downrange ones instead, but we'll see. So let's just fire the engines, get it going, and then we'll just knock it into overdrive a little bit, get it on up there. And all we'll try and do is get that 220 mark, which we should be able to do reasonably easily. Start the engine now, and there we go. And then we can knock it up a bit more again. There we are. And I think that's probably, you know what, let's go 4 speed. Let's go 4 speed. We know this rocket. We know this rocket and what it's capable of doing. Looking on here, there's a lot to be had for crew altitude. 2 crew. Crew speed, 600. Oh, crude speed at 600. That's interesting. It's not a lower one. That's a bit, I think that's a bit rude going for 600 straight away. Uncrewed 4,000. Uncrewed altitude of 500. That's interesting. So if we got up to 4, we've got 400 before we wanted the craft, I think. Have we? Has this got to 4? What does this get to? We must have sent something up to 400 that didn't have as much sounding payload or something. Maybe one of these that just had no payload on it. So that's that finished. We can let that fall back down. Let's go back to base. Right, we've got that Dart bio to do. We're gonna roll that out. I'm not in a hurry to do it, to be honest with you. It's something I might do in the background. We might launch the first one and see what it's like, and the others can run in the background. I'm not I'm not fussed about how fast they are done. They're just there as little science projects until we do something else. I think if we finished everything, haven't we? So we've got these again. That's running good. That's a long time on it. So I think we complete the contract, the program. So we're going to go over here. Let's have a look. 283 and 1,362. So what does that do for us? We're going to get a reward of... It hardly feels worth it doing it early, does it? We'll get a reward of 56.9. So we do that. What's that take? It doesn't say what it takes us up to. We're going to take early rocket development straight away. Reach a suborbital trajectory and return. Ooh. Well, we'll take that straight away, I think. Yay, do that. Yeah. And it has not said that we've completed that mission. That's really nice, actually. So it gives us a mission that actually, you know what? There might be a reason for us to have had those craft all along. Let's go and have a look at the missions. So, reach suborbital and return. What does it say? Suborbit trajectory and return. Okay, I can do that. Now here we go. Downrange distance launch vehicle. Let's have a look. Launch a rocket with 300. Are they all 370? No, these have a range of different payloads. Okay. 370 units of sounding rocket payload. Downward distance 160. Ooh, these are juicy. I think we've just figured out a use for our launch complexes. So let's have a look. What do I want to do? What have we got plan-wise? I have the Latalo 1 S620. I think we put that there. I think we go plans. I think I go, let's get a couple of those. So this is the lateral one S75. I don't want that. I want the 620. Give me 2 of them. Give me 3 of them. Are they actually tooled? It's a good question, actually. Let's get rid of them first, and let's go and check that they're actually tooled before we do anything. There we go. Let's. They seem expensive. Although actually they should be, shouldn't they? They should be expensive. So this is the lateral. Is it lateral 01 S620 because it's got this top thing that's got 620 payload on it. I'm not sure if it's down range sort of range or anything like that, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a go. So that's let's see. Is it fully tooled? First of all, it is not. We do not have the procedural structural tank, which I think is the top one. I think it's that one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Let's have a look. It's tooled, untooled. How much does it cost if we tool it? It saves us. Is that on current? What's the maximum? Wow, that is not a big difference actually. That is a noticeable difference, but it's still, you know, I could still put a few more crew in there. We can sacrifice crew from the plane development program to get this down to like 100. Would be fine actually. So we're only saving like 70 when it costs a fortune to do it. We're not going to use that tank size ever again because we're actually going to go to better tanks. So I don't mind spending that. So save that, and we'll just let's have 1, 2, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. They can be building in the background. So we can see they are going to finish off. When's my first at lateral? Reconditioning rollout. The Crummock's going to be in 76 days. The lateral is going to be a while. So let's let the Crummock go. No, actually, let's not. Let's go to lateral. Let's take. It's going up. It can go up. It's going up to 65. So actually, it's actually useful as having staff still in that, isn't it? So let's take this down to I don't know, 50. Now, what's this going to do for my lateral? It's moving up quite quickly. 290. I want to put it at about 100. 10. Okay. Take the hangar, take it down 2 more. Put this up a little bit more. Hangar down to 5. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The lateral now takes 94 days. So it's about 90-day cycle, which is good for us. And our Crummock's down to 112, but we've got to put 45 days of training in. We've got to do mission training, and then I've also got to think about hiring another astronaut. Is there anybody else that I like the look of? No, I do not. So we're just going to wait for a bit. Right, so we're going to run through this recondition pad rollout, and then we shall probably attempt to do a return of craft from suborbit. Just for those of you who are interested, we are currently making over 115 funds per day on stuff. And I am trying to build that up because we have got some stuff we need to buy. We need to actually buy a couple of these if we're going to go orbital at some point. So we do need to buy a couple of parts. So I think it's going to be, is it 50 and 60, so 110. I need to get the funding up. And we also need money because we need to tool some new tanks and stuff soon. When we get the satellite era materials science out of the way, we're going to have to tool tanks. That's going to be really important for us. We're also going to have to put a lot of effort into getting the efficiency of our sort of launch complexes improved. But that's going to help us with that, so that's not a big problem. We're going to have to build a new launch complex for the next stage of our rockets, shall we say, which will be hopefully using the basic rocketry or the orbital rocketry node. Probably I want to use the orbital rocketry node, so we've got a bit of time to kill actually. But we may just end up going through time quite quickly. We're 1954. I've got time to burn. I've got about 5-6 years actually. We don't need to go downrange immediately. So anyway, we're going to get this mission done. So we've got Dart 10. We're going to take the suborbital return. They did that in 47. We've actually already done it. It's just the contract wasn't active. Return it safely. We're going to go suborbital and then bring it back. Okay, that'll just do that. Gets rid of all that. We might as well take the sound barrier crude actually because we're going to use that at some point. And no doubt me, I would forget to do it. Right, let's have a go at this. Right, here we have the ugliest looking craft you've ever seen. That started. These are waiting. Okay, I think everything is good. So the mission we're trying to complete with this is the suborbital return. It is a sounding rocket. It's uncontrolled. You don't need control. Wonderful. Right, so let's just yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you can see there's a lump in the shadow, but engines go, launch it. We've not had an engine failure on this for ages, which is really nice, which means, now I've said it, we know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have an engine failure as soon as we get going. So we're up, first stage is doing well. Let's see, we've got 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, ignition of the next stage, decouple, and away we are. Right, now this is the important bit. I don't want to go, hello, I don't want to go too high actually. We're just gonna rein this in a little bit. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. I'm hoping it's gonna get the required. It should get the required. It better get the required altitude. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be a happy chap. I'll be honest with you. It's supposed to go to 140 at least. Is it going to get to 140? Come on, come on. Yes, it is. Okay. I'm gonna let this go to 200, and then we'll kill it. There we go. Right, so we've killed it there. We will decouple. I think so. Yes. And then we'll arm the parachute. There we go. So this thing is now separate. This tail section should come off in time. We can physical time warp it a little bit once the pressure on it, because we've currently got pressure pushing down on this even so smallly. Smallly? Is that a science word? I don't think it's a science word. What are we even doing? We've got to get suborbital. Let's have a look. Technically, are we suborbital now? We are now. Okay, so suborbital, you have to go over 140, but then I'm sure I had a thing where it classes suborbital as 100 for science return. Right. Are we sciencing? Oh, you are. Well done. What are we? Are we biome specific? We are not. We're just in space. Okie doke. Keep an eye on that. Let's see how we do. We're going up to about 200. So the idea is by detaching the whole craft, hopefully this thing is going to be a bit less aerodynamic and will hopefully slow down pretty quickly and not all like heat up and burn up on re-entry just because we're doing this sort of thing. So we're down to 8 minutes. So it's had about 2 minutes in space, hasn't it? Yeah. We've got about 4 units. So yeah, we're not doing bad. I think that's a nice payback for that craft. We'll probably need a few more of them. Oh, we're going to get space flying high as well, aren't we? Oh, that's good, actually. I hadn't even thought about that. So we're going to grab a bit of flying high as well. I'm going to start eating away at that. Batteries are getting low, are they? Are our batteries? Oh, they are getting low. Oh. Oh, no, I hadn't thought about that. That's a problem. Can I turn off the transmitter? Is that something we could do? The transmitter is actually the thing that's, there we go, disable it. One of my batteries like now, they're going to hold out a bit longer because of that. That's interesting. I mean, technically we don't need the transmitter on because it's a return, and you can arm the parachutes without the transmitter, I believe. I believe the parachutes will still open because they're armed prior to return. So we know 200 we're going to run out. How much do we have? Oh, we've only got 50 on there because I cut it down trying to be clever and whatnot. So 200 we know we can probably return from. There's the rest of the vessel going to go straight down into the site we launched from. Where's our launch site? It'll be about here, will it? Is it visible? Have we gone off a bit, or are we coming down right on top of it? Can anybody see the launch site? Is it right below us? I don't see it. Batteries have gone. I do not see that. Something. There's the launch site. Is it? There we are. We're sort of downrange from it, aren't we? We've drifted a bit. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're slowing down because of the blunt ending. It did roll over, interestingly. So yeah, bits flying there. So what's that? That's the avionics is the heavy bit, obviously. We do not have connection. We're not getting our science. The science is fixed where it is. We can close that. And we are dead in the water. The parachutes should hopefully open. I'm assuming they're going to open. I'm hoping they're going to open. I can't remember where they're supposed to open. Was it 3,000? Was it now? Is it now? There we go. 3,000. Oh, I couldn't remember if it was 7,000, 5,000, or 3,000. Right, you can see the lovely lines appearing in the Australian outback there, renowned for its, as I said in the past, its ley lines. They're obviously very important. Right, let's bring this all down. So we'll see this thing land. I'm not going to hold you while it floats down for a little bit. I will see you back at base. Why we have we have landed safely. We got a big nice chunk of science. We got 6 science from that, all well and good. That's what the mission was originally designed for, but it has also managed to give us a completed contract. So we've got reached the orbital trajectory in return, and we have got that. Our scientists are wonderfully happy about that. We've got as a little bonus. What's our actual income? We're getting 68,000 subsidy a year now. That's quite nice. What are we looking at? We're looking at 117 contracts available. Just this one, which is the 3,000 kilometer downrange, and then we've got these intermediate ones. I don't think we have the ability to do this currently. No, we do not, do we? We can get. We'd have to stay in flight for 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Would we? If we don't know, it'd be 100. Oh, it's yeah. I'm trying to add the numbers up and going no. If we're doing 3,000 meters per second, we have to stay for 1,000 seconds. We're not staying in flight at that rate, so we're not going to be able to do that. It's a long time flight. We could do this intermediate though, and that is ticking along nicely. So we will build one and do the intermediate. In fact, I'm tempted to take it now, and then we can always be a bit ahead. It is the first one we're going to do. So payload 2,000, so 200 units. At least 190. This one's 170, 360. We could give it a little bit of time. I think we're going to let it sit for a little bit. Right. So we're just going to run through, get these things finished up. We're spending a bit of funds just reconditioning pads and things like that now. That just takes a little bit of time. There we go. We've got satellite era material science. It's going to be about a year away, so that's going to be 55. And when we get that, that will give us the isogrid tanks, and that's when we're going to build our next vehicle, I think. What I might do is prep that by building something. But actually, we're not in a hurry because we're going to need to get basic rocketry and stuff before we build it. So it'll be a bit pointless as preparing the tank. We may want to spend some funds on some scientists, but I'm going to let the funds build up a little bit first because I would like a bit of a buffer once I start spending on scientists. Let's have a look. We've got proficiency training is going to finish soon, so that's going to do that. And then we're going to have another look at our astronaut. Here we go, more astronaut options. Let's have a look. Dean's not bad, very low stupidity. Roy Reid sounds like a character from some sort. Alison Hughes, liking the look. Pauline less so, very lacking of courage. But I think it's between Roy Reid and Alison. Alison is maybe a little, we don't know when they're going to retire, that's the thing. And Dean Price is quite nice. They're all better than you, Claire. I hate to break this to you. I'm tempted to actually fire you and get someone better, but I think I want to go Alison Hughes. I think I want to go through. You know what? Claire Wood, Alison Hughes, Roy Reid, Dean Price. Dean, you have actually got the lowest stupidity, but your courage is on. See, you're not great. Oh, start at the top. Alison, you are at the top. Who would you choose? Do we go for 2 female pilots? It's very modern, very modern, but we are in the 1950s. Probably should go for male pilots in that situation because they were very sexist. I think his courage is high. I think Roy Reid is the better courage and the stupidity. I think we go Roy Reid. There we go. And you're going to go until 61. Okay. Right, Roy, we're going to get you prepped up and ready to roll. So you are going to go on a little training course for us. So we're going to go training, and we're going to go for proficiency X1. Roy's going to do that. You're going to start the training. We're going to look at training astronauts. To look at Claire, you have got. It doesn't tell me. Does not tell me. She's got the training though, hasn't she? Oh, she hasn't finished it yet. Okay. Oh, has it reset it? Huh? So have they bought? No, they haven't bought. It didn't show that they'd done it. That's annoying. Well, we're now paying for it again. Claire doesn't remove that. I actually want to remove Claire from the training. This will lose any retirement benefit of the... You know what? No, just leave it on. We'll add the retirement dates on at least. It's going to cost a fortune in training, isn't it? This is going to cost us so much money in training. Not terribly, actually, looking at it. Right, let's warp it forward. We're almost ready with the Crummock, actually. I wonder if we can get a Crummock flight in before. Right, so proficiency training update. The following proficiency change occurred. You've done that, okay. And then we do the next one. You've done that. Where does it tell me the proficiencies of them? There we are. Yeah, I don't think that showed up last time. I have to go back. I don't think it showed up that proficiency. Right. Crummock's 22 days away. Claire, you're going to get training. Mission training. Claire. What's that going to say? We'll take 10 days. Finish on that. Retirement increased by 12 days. I don't know how long that lasts for, though. So we'll do that. And that's going to be done. Right, so the Atlatl is ready. We could actually launch that. So I think next episode we're going to launch the Atlatl. We're going to have our pilots get in the Crummock, because the Crummock should be ready at that point. And we shall do some missions. So from me, until next time, it's heating up a little bit. We've finished our first, completed our first program. It's done. Interestingly, it's saying that we're at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that doesn't make sense, but okay. Funds paid out. We lost out on about 100,000 funds. It'd be nice if you got a proportion of the extra funds, but I understand the way it works. I don't think that this is big enough for finishing it early personally, but maybe later on it's good. We've still got our X-Planes contracts that are going to start getting a bit more funds. You see the funds really start to ramp up in the sort of 6th, 7th year. And here we've got, we've started on this one, so that's now going there. We've just got the downrange contracts to do. And then we'll be looking at actually whether we go light or heavy. I'm thinking heavy. Am I actually able to take this now? Requirements, any. Oh, I just need to, I could have taken this. I could have missed out on doing that. But no, I'm happy doing this. This is actually quite short, isn't it? 5 years on that one. We can even go bottleneck, which is whatever it is. That breakneck. That's stupidly fast, actually. I would actively take 5 years to do that. It would take 5 years to build the actual satellites to do the 3 things. Right. Anyway, I'm gibbering. Until next time, when we do some of our downrange contracts and we get the Crummock finally flying. Have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like, or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.